Hey, it's the Trio Brigade, and man, what an amazing start to the day. That rhymed. But we finally got something on the Switch too. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, we all know about the leaks, and leaks, and leaks, numerous leaks throughout the entire beginning of January, and also throughout like the latter half of 2024. We all know those happened, but now it's here officially, you know. And I don't know, just thought I'd give my little thoughts on it. Obviously, it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. I just looking at it, I already saw all the leaks because I couldn't contain my hype for this, and I was looking at everything, and I was already super hyped. But this, it still felt just the same as watching it for the first time ever, like not knowing anything about it. I wish I could have done that, but you know, the leaks. And this unfortunately doesn't seem as grandiose as the Switch presentation. Not only because of the leaks, but because, well, they showed a lot more the day of the presentation. You know, they already announced a whole bunch of games. You know, like Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
Breath of the Wild!
You bet!
You know, they announced all of that within the same day. I remember exactly how it went back when I was in middle school, when they announced the Switch. I didn't watch it live, at least. I don't think so. I wasn't really, well, my only source of internet was, oh, actually, no, I had a phone during that time. Never mind, I had a phone during that time. I guess I just I wasn't as locked on to the presentations as I am now, where I wake up at 6 a.m. for announcements I may or may not like. But I remember when the Switch was revealed back in 2016, and I was so ecstatic. I don't think I was that excited. I don't know why I wasn't. I mean, I knew I was excited. I knew I was hyped, but I wasn't like, ah! I wasn't that kind of hyped, which is weird. I'm pretty sure I was, but I just don't remember it that well. And I remember, one of the first things I remember seeing was the trailer for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I was a bit disappointed by that. I didn't want Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm pretty sure it sold pretty well on the Wii U. I think we can have a new Mario Kart now. But, I mean, honestly, with how Mario Kart 9's looking, I'm kind of glad we went 8 Deluxe. Because 8 Deluxe is a good-looking game. I'm not saying it's bad. 8 Deluxe, well, Mario Kart 8 was my first Wii U game, so, you know. And Mario Kart Wii was my first Wii game, but that's besides the point. But, no, I'm glad they stuck with 8 Deluxe, because 8 Deluxe is such a good game that they had to port it to the Switch. Or maybe it was the whole Wii U port thing that they were doing with Tropical Freeze, Treasure Tracker, Pikmin 3, yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, that was a thing. I wasn't... Oh, no. I was into Splatoon at the time, but I wasn't really that interested in Splatoon 2. I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I mean, I still got Splatoon 1, so, you know, I'm fine. And then, one of the funniest things was my reaction to Odyssey. I did not like the fact that Mario was in a real world. I remember in my, what was it, homeroom? Is that what people had before they went to first period? Yeah, homeroom. I wrote on a piece of paper like an entire paragraph or like an entire page worth of my notes on Odyssey and how much I didn't like it. Like, oh my gosh, it's I don't like that Mario's in a world with real people. Mario isn't supposed to be there. I sounded so ugly remembering all that. And I was so pissed at the fact that Cappy existed. Like, why is Cappy there? We don't want another stupid side partner like Tippy from Super Paper Mario. Which is really stupid of me to say, because I really love Tippy. I don't know what 7th grade me, I think it was 8th, I don't know what 8th grade me was thinking, man. He was stupid. He was stupid, that's what he was. It wasn't until they showed the second trailer for Odyssey where I started to slowly change my mind. I was like, holy crap! Never mind, I love Odyssey! And like, you know, they showed all the capturing the main mechanic and Pauline, and like all the places you can go to, the wedding with Bowser and Peach. That's when I got hooked. You know, so in the end, I loved Odyssey. But I still didn't own a Switch. Another good time I remember back in middle school. At this point, I'm just reminiscing about when the Switch came out. That's what this video is gonna be. Never mind. So I remember one of the funniest things was that when they revealed the that Nintendo Switch parental controls video with Bowser and Bowser Jr. And like, oh, you have it, and like, it was a cute little animation, you know, with Bowser being a good parent. You know, it's always good to see stuff like that. And not only was the animation good, it was very good. But I remember there's one part of the parental controls where Bowser's like, oh no, my son has a Switch. What do I do? And then he's like, roar! I got it! Parental controls! I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Oh my gosh, because it's just like that common trope. It's like cliche, like, oh, Eureka, you know? It's with freaking Bowser. It's like something you'd see on a TV or a fake commercial from a TV show. It was hilarious. And I remember showing Jason it, and we were laughing for a good while. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Even though in reality now, it's not that funny, but it was still pretty freaking funny. I still didn't own a Switch by the time the Switch came out. And, you know, if you had a Switch around the time when it came out, oh, people were gonna be looking, let me tell you. I mean, pretty sure you were all there. But I'm pretty sure you guys had Switches, unlike me. None of my friends, Chris and Jason, didn't own Switches. I didn't own a Switch because, well, we were in middle school and we didn't have jobs. And my family isn't one to buy me stuff, or consoles at least. Honestly, it's kind of ironic considering that I got my Wii U the year 2016. I wanted to get it earlier. I really wanted to get it earlier. I really did. Because, but nope, we couldn't because we still had our Wii. And so then it had to get to the point where our Wii no longer had working audio, where my parents were like, okay, yeah, let's buy you a Wii U. And it was only because it was backwards compatible. Which, I mean, yeah, so then all those Wii games don't go to waste. So, yeah, that was fun. I got my Wii U! And the Switch is coming out the year next, so that was kind of fun. So I didn't have a Switch. It came out March. Everyone I saw, well, not everyone, but a good few people had a Switch and people were crowded around them. You know, there were some people that looked like they weren't even Nintendo fans that had them. So, I mean, that really said something about what the Switch was going to be. You know, some people playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, some people playing Breath of the Wild, and that's pretty much it. Never saw anyone play Super Bomberman R. Or 1-2 Switch. Would you really play 1-2 Switch in middle school where anyone can make fun of you for doing anything? No. No, they would not. Also, like, where the heck are you going to play 1-2 Switch in a place where you can actually see the screen or hear the screen, you know? Throughout the summer of 2017 and the school year, I saw Switches everywhere. We went to the mall. We were walking around. I saw a kid playing Splatoon 2. I was like, I want to play Splatoon 2. Give me a Switch! And I knew, it was at this point where I knew that my parents were not going to buy me a Switch. They were not buying me that. No way, no how. Because it was $350. They were not going to waste money on a console that only I would use. Which was a shame, and it was facts. So I saw a kid playing Splatoon 2. We went to a pizza place. I think it was Shakey's. Yeah. Y'all remember Shakey's? Shakey's is still a thing. We went to Shakey's. And I saw a group of birthday people, of kids, playing 1-2 Switch. I was like, even though it's 1-2 Switch, it was still pretty cool looking. Like, I I couldn't help but stare, you know, because I wanted a Switch. And, luckily, during the majority of my time having a phone until I got a Switch, I had emulators, a whole bunch of emulators on my phone. Game Boy Advance emulators, N64, DS emulators. That's how I beat Bowser's Inside Story, through an emulator. And everyone else had Switches. Luckily, I didn't see much Switches in 2017 when I went to high school. Mainly because I don't really know why. No, it's not like I really had much friends when I was in high school, or the first year either. That was a dark time. Starting schools is never fun. Never fun for anyone. But no, never saw Switches during that time. I really wanted a Switch, and that's when I was seeing more stuff for freaking Odyssey, and I don't know what other games are releasing during that time. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, no. It's it was a thing. It was a thing that was happening. And then next year they released that other Direct with a whole bunch of stuff. Octo expansion, I'm pretty sure. A whole bunch of third-party games. And that was also when they revealed Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, the reveal trailer with the Inklings. And the internet went wild. And I was one of those few people. I was like, oh my gosh, just release Smash for the Switch. When is it gonna happen? And unfortunately, the Directs during our school time happened while we were in school. Which really sucked. Because I wasn't able to view it. And I was waiting for my mom to come pick me up, and one of my friends, he was like, dude, they revealed Smash for the Switch! I was like, what? So, and I didn't even know, and that's how I found out that they were making Smash for the Switch. So I went, I saw the reveal trailer, like, holy crap! Like, Inkling Girls confirmed and Inkling Boys confirmed for Smash. It's coming this year. It was so hyped, so amazing, so awesome. And that reveal trailer for Smash Ultimate was that was the thing that pushed me to save up for a Switch. I didn't have a job, I had no real way of getting money, I didn't get allowance, so how the heck was I gonna get it? Well, I started with the money I had so far. The second I got home, I kept replaying the Smash reveal trailer, and I was looking at discussions about the trailer. And I was scurrying up all my money, and I had a total of $11.34. I was like, that's a pretty good start. Better than nothing. I'm surprised I have that much money. So from then on out, I saved up money for the Switch. And luckily, they revealed the Smash Ultimate in March. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so I'll get the money now. And then my birthday's coming up, which is April 2nd. Also, another cool thing, the Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 is happening on my birthday. It's happening on my birthday. I mean, I'm gonna have an amazing start to my birthday. That's gonna be the best birthday ever. It would have been even cooler if it was coming out on my birthday. Oh my gosh, if it came out on my birthday, I would say I can't go to work today. I'm sorry, I'm sick or something. I can't go to work. Pretty sure I'm gonna say that for the Direct in case it comes to work, or the Direct happens while I'm at work. I can miss one day. I work at a preschool. I look after kids. They can live one day without me, cause Switch 2. Sorry. I don't know, like, the fact that it's happening on my birthday is still pretty cool. Really hoping it comes out soon. I do not want to wait the latter half of 2025. I cannot wait till September for the Switch 2 to come out. I cannot wait that long. But anyways, where was I? Right. My birthday was coming up, and I was like, okay, I'll just have to pray that I get a whole bunch of money for my birthday. And so I did. Well, I didn't pray, because, I mean, that's a dumb thing to pray about, you know? You guys should be praying for more important stuff. But, I did hope that I got a whole lot of money for my birthday. So, and I remember, it's like, guys, don't buy me gifts, just give me money. And so then, I was scourging up a good amount of money. Got a good amount of money for my birthday. I got about like $250. I went from $11 to $250, somewhere around there. That's how much I got. And I was like, I still need ways to find money. So, I ended up taking a few jobs with one of my relatives. I was like, is there any way I can get money? And they're like, yeah, you could come and clean my house a bit. They're like, yes, please, thank you. So then I would go over to my relative's place, and I would work, I would clean, I would vacuum, and they'd pay me. And I was getting closer and closer to getting my own Switch. And I was so ecstatic. I already used the word ecstatic. I was so hyped. I was so freaking hyped. I was actually gonna get a Switch on my own. And as I was saving up, one of my siblings was not happy that I was doing this. I don't know why. And my mom ended up figuring out how much money I was saving up. And my sister was like, oh, you should use that money all on clothes because you need them. Like, I'm not wasting my money on clothes. I'm not scourging up all the money that I have just so that I can buy it on something I can get every freaking day. You guys aren't gonna buy this for me. So why are you stopping me from buying it for myself? And it got to the point where my mom was like, oh, next week we're gonna get all your money and we're gonna use it on clothes. I'm like, what? So I had a week left to get all the money I could so I can buy a Switch. Because if I didn't, that would all be going to clothes and all my progress would be broken. I'm pretty sure if that did happen, I would have just given up. I would have probably cried and I would have given up. Because crying over, well, here's the thing. I didn't have a job back then. I had no real source of getting money. I was really awkward as a person socially back in the beginning of high school. I had no way of getting this stuff. So for them to just take it all away, it hurt, I didn't like the fact that they just wanted to take all the money that I saved up as hard as I could just so then they could use it on something that I didn't want. So I was nearing it. I passed the 300 mark. And I was like, okay, all I gotta do is calculate tax. It was 350. I was like, okay, fine, that's so fine. And I screwed up all my money, and I had like a good 4 days left to buy the Switch until they used it all for clothes. And my friend was there. One of my church friends was there. I was like, we were counting, like, okay, come on, dude. I need you to help me count all my money. So then we counted, and I had $333, I think. Yeah, $333. And I just needed $20 more for the tax, and then I would be able to fully have it. And I was like, I don't know. I was in a rush, and I was rushing downstairs, and my Theo was visiting over, and he's like, whoa, what are you guys doing? I'm like, what's the rush? They're like, we're just counting all my money because I'm trying to save up for a Switch. He's like, oh, how much money do you need left? I'm like, I just need like $20 left. This man pulled out a 20, and he was like, here, like, and I was like, Leo, we count the money, we may have it all, and I was so excited. Like, 100, 200, 250, 300, like, we have enough for the Switch! And he just handed me the last bit of money that I needed to not waste my money on clothes. And I went back downstairs like, we have all the money! Like, can I go buy the Switch now? And my Theo, drove us to GameStop, and I bought my Switch. And it was the happiest day of my entire life. And the funnier thing, majority of my cash was in change. Majority of it was in change. Because I would just scour any type of money I could. So like pennies, dimes, quarters, nickels. I had it all. And that's the majority of what I had. I was lucky to have a few bills. And that was because of my birthday and getting paid for work. And I had it all in this question mark block that, I'll probably show. In this question mark block, because, I mean, money comes from question mark blocks. So, I was carrying that on my way to GameStop, And I was like, I would like to buy this Nintendo Switch, please. And the lady was like, cash your card. And I showed her, I showed the box, like, change. It wasn't all in change. But I said that I'm really sorry that you gotta count all this. I really am, but, you know, with my position, I mean, it was the only way I was gonna do it. And she actually went through it all and counted it. And, I'm very glad that she was willing to do that. I'm really sorry to that lady now that she had to do that. But yeah, I had all the money, thanks to my Theo. And, he even paid for a year warranty, which was like an extra $50, which he didn't have to do that, but I'm very glad that he did. So, I got the Switch. I was happy as can be. I was also bald. I didn't have as much long hair as I did now, but I was bald. That's me. Man, I was a something. But I was also the happiest kid on earth. And one of my other friends from church used to own a Switch. Or no, one of my friends did own a Switch. And I created my account on that one because I just couldn't wait for me to get a Switch. I couldn't. I was so excited. And I ended up playing some of the stuff on there, you know. We ended up playing Mario Kart 8 on there, you know, and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. And here's the problem. I had no games. Holy crap, I had no games. What the heck am I gonna play? And my account was on my friend's account, so I couldn't really download anything from the shop either. Because, you know, you have to have you can't use one Nintendo account on two systems. You'd have to log out of the other one. And so then, luckily, I was able to still put my Nintendo Switch account on my thing, but I couldn't download anything because it was on two of them. So I was able to do all that. I switched my stuff around, and my friend noticed that all the stuff was getting switched, so he just logged it out. You know, he just got rid of it on his Switch. And then I was finally able to play something on my Switch. I had no games. That was kind of tough dealing with that. I didn't really have any games, which kind of sucked. You know, like, I had this Switch, and I remember I wanted just any excuse to use it. Because why wouldn't I? I remember I was going on the profile thing when you go into your profile and see your friends. It was like, tweet, 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 tweet. You're like, you know, I loved that. I loved how that sounded. I loved how all of it was. Just any excuse to use my Switch, I used it. And unfortunately, I had no games, so I was just, you know, scrolling around the settings like a goofy ass, just scrolling around and using it on the TV, even though I literally had nothing to do on it. I just wanted to show it off. I was just so excited to use it. And it was like, I got my Switch on July 23rd of 2018. Oh my gosh, I only had to wait a week. My family ended up coming over at some point, and I had my Switch plugged in. I wasn't really using it because, well, you know, I had nothing on it. And one of my other Theos noticed that I had the Switch. It was like, oh my, like, you know, like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but unfortunately I don't really have any games on it. It's like, oh, what's one of the games that you've been wanting to get? Like, oh, I've been wanting to get Sonic Mania Plus. You know, it just came out. It was new. It didn't come out on Steam. I already got Sonic Mania on Steam, but I wanted to get Sonic Mania Plus for my Switch. You know, I've been really wanting to get that, and he was like, I'll be right back. And then, a few minutes later, he comes back with Sonic Mania Plus. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much! I can finally use my Switch! And, I was just so excited. He just bought me a game. Like, he didn't have to do that, but he did. And I was just so happy to finally get a game that I can play on my Switch. And it was amazing. It was so amazing. I was so hyped to get it. And then, the rest is history. owned Sonic Mania Plus for the majority of the time. Saved up for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Got Super Mario Party once it came out. Traded Splatoon 2 for Sonic Mania with one of my friends. Played Odyssey. Played Splatoon 2. Got Tropical Freeze, Smash Ultimate, and then, yeah, no, the rest is just, yeah, bought every first-party game that I could, and now here we are at the Switch 2. Man, it has been a ride, and I have been talking for so long. But, I mean, I don't know, I think my journey in getting a Switch is a pretty interesting one. It's gonna be a lot more interesting than me getting it for the Switch 2. Oh, I saved up money to buy the Switch 2. I went and got it. That's really all I can say, because now that I actually have a job and I make a good amount of money, I can just go and buy it. Thing is, though, do I wanna pre-order it, or do I wanna, like, just get, because I wanna get this in person. Like, sure, like, getting it, pre-ordering it, and having it come to your house is fine and all, but I want to go back to the good old days, you know, back to the day where I got it in store, and I was able to carry it, and, you know, that hype when you were a kid, you got a new game, and you were just looking at it, looking at the cover and the box art on the way home, just excited to get home and play it. That's what I want to feel when I get my Switch 2, and I am getting it launch day. I'm not missing out on another launch console. I can't. The only one I didn't miss out on was my DSi. I wanted to get a DS. Right, here's another story. Back when I was like, hold on. Back when I was 6 years old. Yes, 6 years old. I might as well just start from the beginning. When I was born, no. When I was 3 years old, that was my start of gaming. My Thea got me a Game Boy Color when I was 3 years old. Imagine that. Gain a handheld at 3 years old. It was better than getting a freaking tablet or phone or whatever the heck kids are getting these days, which is very sad, you know. That exposes them to the entire world. You know, it gives them too much freedom. 3-year-old Jeremy was given a Game Boy Color. And I still have that Game Boy Color, and it still works, and I still use it. Because nostalgia purposes, you know. I couldn't ask for any better games to start off with. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, which was a remastered version. Well, it was like a revamped version of the original Super Mario Brothers, and it had like these challenges where you can collect like red coins, find the Yoshi egg, race against a Boo. It was pretty cool, and I grew up with that game. You know, I started, and Super Mario Bros. Isn't really an easy game. Well, I mean, it is, if you've been playing it a whole bunch. But, like, for, like, a 3-year-old, I got to World 2. That, I mean, if that doesn't say something about who I'd become, then I don't know what will. I remember I did get stuck on World 2 too, because it was a water level, and I didn't know that you had to press the jump button multiple times to swim. So I just ended up hopping a little bit, and that really didn't click in. Eventually I figured it out though. I had Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, I had Pac-Man Special Color Edition, and it had the original Pac-Man and Pac-Attack. I love Pac-Attack, I remember Pac-Attack. Dude, that's such nostalgia. And I had Wario Land 3. I loved Wario Land 3. Pretty sure that I had the most memories with Wario Land 3 than any of my other Game Boy Color games. That's why I love Wario so much, and that's why I'm really hoping we eventually get a new Wario Land game, because I literally grew up with the series. No, Wario Land 3, best game. Playing it on my Switch. So glad that they announced it for the Switch. They didn't have to. They could have announced Wario Land 2. But no, Wario Land 3, because they just know me so well. Like, the Switch 2 Direct being on my birthday. They know me so well! So yeah, grew up with that, and had my Game Boy Color for a while. Loved it so much. And then, I've been hearing talk about a DS. I'm like, oh, I don't know what a DS is, but I want it. It looks so cool. And, it was around my birthday where I was really
asking for a DS for my birthday. Like, I want to get a DS so then I can play Game Boy Advance games, because I knew that the DS can play Game Boy Advance games, and I've been wanting to play Game Boy Advance games, because it was like the Game Boy Color, you know? Like, I wanted to play that as well, so I was really hoping for a DS. And my Thea, the same one who got me the Game Boy Color, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait! And I got the Nintendo DSi. Literally around the same month that it came out. I got the DSi the same month it released. I was like, what is this? This looks so new! It didn't have a Game Boy Advance cartridge thing, but it had so other much cool stuff. And my first game for the DS was my introduction to Sonic. It was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, the original one for the DS. I was like, who's this guy? Like, oh, that's Sonic. He's a hedgehog. I was like, he's so cool! And there was my love for Sonic. And I remember, and like, did you really get a DSi when you were like 6 years old? Yes, I do. You want to know how I remember? Because I was in kindergarten, and they were doing like this whole attendance thing, or like we were standing out in like a field or something, like, you know, that part where you like athletic stuff, like with ball games like basketball and handball and stuff. We were standing out there, we were doing like awards and stuff, and they called my name for something, and I remember I owned my DSi and Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games when I was young, because I remember when they called my name and I went up to the stage, I did a spin and did a Sonic pose and said, "It's all about speed!" Which is what Sonic says when he gets first place in the Olympic Games for the DS.
It's all about speed!
That is what he says, and that's how I remember that I owned it back then. And I will never forget that moment, and I remember I would talk about DS games with the friends I had in kindergarten a lot. Like, oh my, did you know Luigi shows up in the new Super Mario Brothers thing if you wait on the menu? Like, no way, he doesn't show up. Only Mario shows up, but Luigi shows up rarely. You know, it's like a secret thing. Sometimes he shows up. So I didn't believe it, but it was true. Okay, so that's enough about the DSi. And no, that's how I got the DSi. That's the only time that I wasn't late to a Nintendo console handheld related thing. I have no idea when I got my Wii. Actually, here's the hilarious thing. The Wii, when we got it, was gifted to my sister. Not me. You know, not the one who already owned a Game Boy Color and a DSi, and like the entire reason why my sisters also got DSis. You know, I wasn't the whole reason for that. No, so my Thea, the same Thea, she gave the Wii to my sister, and I'm pretty sure I cried. I was a kid back then. I mean, can you really blame me? I was a kid back then, you know. I heard of the Wii. I don't know, I was kind of sad that it wasn't for me. Obviously, we were all gonna use it, but I don't know, I was kind of hoping that, you know, I'd get it. Because my sisters weren't really much game people. I was. So it kind of hurt a little when they got the Wii and I didn't. But they're like, oh, it's okay, we'll share it together. You know, it was a whole nice, wholesome thing. Obviously, we were gonna use it together. She just wasn't gonna use it. And our first game was Mario Kart Wii. And that's why I see Mario Kart Wii as my favorite game. Because it was the first game that we got for the Wii. Okay, back to the Switch. Switch 2. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was talking about. I kind of just went on about my whole life as a gamer. I don't know. I already said about the whole Wii, the audio thing. Oh, right. Our Wii got stolen at some point. Yeah, our Wii got stolen. I don't know why, and it had Kirby's Epic Yarn in there, which I'm really sad that we lost. And, yeah, our house got robbed, actually, during that time. Our house got robbed, they took our mom's jewelry, and they took our Wii. And we were joking about, like, the robber who got the Wii and taking it to his family. Like, Dad, why is there already a game in here? Why is there already Mii's on here? And he's like, like, how is he gonna explain that? So we thought that was pretty funny. But then for a while, we didn't have a Wii. We really didn't. We still had the games, but we didn't have a Wii. Then my parents were so kind to buy us another one. And that's how I got introduced to Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Because we got the bundle game that came with the Wii. And like, that is so nostalgic. I did not grow up with them separately. So that's like the most nostalgic thing ever. And we were obsessed with Wii Sports. And mostly Wii Sports Resort though. Because it was like a better Wii Sports, obviously. Of course, Wii Sports is still good. We still played that. I remember we played that fitness thing. Like, to see how old you were. That was pretty fun. But no, we played that. Got Sonic and the Secret Rings as my first Wii game. Or my Wii Sonic game. I thought that was pretty cool. And then we got a Wii U. Yeah, we got a Wii U. The Switch got announced a year later. Actually, the same year. And then there's my story of how I got my new 2DS XL. I should have continued that off of the DSi thing because that's just a whole different arc of handhelds. So, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about it. So, I remember the 3DS coming out in 2011. I was in 3rd grade. I was like, oh, a 3D DS! Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome! And I wanted it so bad. But, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get it anytime soon. Jeez, there's a lot of stuff to talk about with my journey in the 3DS as well. See, that's just a whole different arc. I wanted it, obviously. And, man, I even tried convincing my grandma to get me it. Like, can you please get me it? It's only $150. I slowly started seeing kids with 3DSs using Street Pass, playing 3D Land. Sure, Mikers and Jason didn't own Switches back then, but you wanna know what they did own? 3DSs! They all had... Chris owned a new 3DS XL, and Jason eventually... Yeah, Chris got a 3DS XL, and Jason got a new 3DS XL. And I was stuck here with my DSi. Playing Sonic Classic Collection. Hey, that's a good ports though. Good ports. I was stuck with my DSi. I was stuck with my DS games. At that point, my sisters stopped using theirs because they're not gamers, which brings the question again: why get her a Wii? I mean, I guess that's the same question: why gain your grandpa a Wii, even though they're not gamers? But I mean, you know, they're still pretty cool. You know, motion controls, Wii Sports, that stuff's fun. But anyways. Yeah, they lost their 3DSs or they just stopped using them completely. So, and I really wanted a 3DS. So bad. And everyone else in the world had a 3DS. And I didn't. I was saying, oh, don't worry guys, I'm gonna get a 3DS pretty soon. Just watch. That never happened. Yeah, no, never happened. And then it got to one point, I think it was in 2017, 2016? I think it was around the time Kirby Fighters Deluxe came out. Hold on, let me check when that was. Oh, okay, it came out in it came out in 2015. I remember that being pretty new and really wanting it. And the 3DS has been out for a while now. And that's around the time the new 3DS came out, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, there was one day I was like, I don't know, it wasn't even close to my birthday. It was just a random day. And I was like, guys, I'm tired. Like, Mom, Dad, I'm tired of it. Can I please get a 3DS? All my friends have one. I only have a DSi. It's starting to wear out. Can I please get a 3DS? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. We can get you a 3DS. We're going to go to Best Buy today. You can get it then. I was like, yay! And like the entire day, I was so excited. And it was also because I was getting really hyped and I searched up and my dad was like, why are you on eBay? I was like, oh, because I'm searching up how much games would be. You know, you don't have to worry about it because they're pretty cheap. And like I was calculating how much the 3DS would be, how much games I would want. I was really excited to get the 3DS. So then we went to Best Buy, and like it's like that moment, like oh my gosh, this is happening, this ain't happening, this is happening, and I got so excited. And I was in like the 3DS kiosk area playing Majora's Mask because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have these in my hand one day. And then my parents said, okay guys, let's go home. I was like, oh, but wait, do you remember? We're gonna get my 3DS, right? It's like, oh, we're not getting it for you, sorry. I'm like, okay. I honestly had no words. I had no words. I was like, okay, fine, let's go home. I was just depressed, I'm pretty sure. Bamboozled. Thanks for bringing my hopes up, just to slam them back down. I don't know why they would say that they were getting me yet when they aren't gonna get me yet. So that was that was a very dark time. And I didn't get a 3DS anytime soon. I did not. I never got it in middle school, never got it in high school, never got it. Until 2021, I had a good enough job to get money and stuff, you know? And one of the things I really wanted to get was a new 2DS XL. And throughout high school, I saw the new 2DS XL. I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so awesome. Too bad my parents are liars. And I remember one day, while we were discussing Christmas gifts, like, can you please get me a 3DS? Like, please? Like, at this point, I'm not even gonna be nice. Like, can you just please give it to me? Well, I wasn't being rude, but, like, at this point, I mean, come on. Like, you don't even have to get me multiple gifts. Just get me this one thing. And they're like, no, we don't want to give it to you. Like, you can get something better. Pretty sure there was, like, books and clothes. That's all they like. That's all they want me to get, books and clothes. That's what I'm still getting for presents, which, it's fine. I don't expect them to know what I like now. And, they're like, just no. No, you're not getting it. So, you know, that's fine. Thank you. So then, I had a good enough job, at 2021. And I told my mom, I'm buying a 2DS. I'm buying it, and there's nothing you can do about it. I didn't say that because, well, that's me. But I said, I want to buy a 2DS because you guys don't want to buy it for me. I said that to them. I want to buy this because you guys aren't willing to buy it for me, so can I at least buy it for myself? And my mom was like, yeah, sure, you can buy it. And I was also saving up for a laptop. But she was like, oh, but you have to buy your laptop first before you buy that. I'm like, okay, fine, sure, whatever. I just want to get it. And so then, yeah, I bought my laptop. That ended up breaking. I bought a new one. And then I saved up for my 2DS, and I got a brand new one. And it cost $350 because it was brand new, out of the box. It wasn't touched. Because I wanted to get the best I could. I wanted to get it as if it was like a brand new thing. I didn't want to get a used one or a refurbished one because, you know, I wanted to wear it down, you know. I wanted to have a grand experience with it like I did with my DSi. And I got the blue and black one, you know, resemblance to my DSi, which was also light blue. So then, I was patiently waiting in the mail to get it, and all my other friends own 3DSs. Cole owned one, Nate owns one, Chris owns one, Jason owns one. I actually gifted Nico one. You're welcome, Nico. I got it, patiently waiting, and it finally came, and it was in this sleek box with Mario Kart 7 pre-installed, which is really cool. And Nate gave me Luigi's Mansion and Mario and Luigi Dream Team, so then I wouldn't have no games. I still have Mario Kart 7, so yeah. How about that? My first 3DS game was a Mario Kart game. So then, yeah, I opened it, and it was so sleek and slick, and I still had my DSi, so I did the system transferring thing, and it had little Pikmin transferring my data from my DS to my 3DS, which I really like. I unfortunately never got to do that with my Wii and Wii U, because we didn't know how to do that. And I don't think we really cared, and I wasn't really into Pikmin at that time, so, yeah, I don't think it would have excited me as much. Actually, it was when I got my Wii U, when I searched up the demos, and that's when I got into Pikmin, which I'm very glad, but I told that story in my Pikmin 3 discussion, like, back in 2020, if you're willing to go all the way back and view that. But, no. Yeah, I did the system transfer. I thought it was so cool. And, like, I wanted to show someone that I got this, you know. It was, like, so cool. Like, you know, nostalgia. Like, oh, remember the DS? Here's the 3DS. Or here's the 2DS. Like, isn't it so cool? And I showed one of my sisters. Like, oh my, look what I saved all my money for. It's a 2DS. It's so cool, right? And this was the same sister who said that she wanted me to use my money on clothes. She said the same exact thing. Why'd you buy that? I think that's a waste of money. I was like, why do I even try with you? Forget it. Don't talk to me. Like, it just kind of brought my mood down entirely. Like, you know, you don't care? Just say you don't care. Don't go on this whole tangent about how I should have used it on clothes. So then I spent the entire day just playing on my 3DS, which I still couldn't believe I had. And then I modded it 2 weeks later. I've been wanting to mod it, but I did buy actual games for it before I modded it because, you know, out of respect, when the eShop was still alive, using my paycheck, I bought Tomodachi Life and Kirby Triple Deluxe, which were both 20 bucks. And I also bought Hey Pikmin. I bought Tomodachi Life and Kirby Triple Deluxe digitally. I bought Hey Pikmin physically because I wanted to have it physically. And then I modded my 3DS, and now I have a whole bunch of games on it. So, that's my story of the 3DS, or my 2DS. I want to end up buying a new 3DS, because the 3D feature is cool. And the way that the 3DS, feels is really cool as well. I want to get the SNES new 3DS XL. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm going to get for my new 3DS. But, you know, those are expensive, so I'll have to get them when I actually have the money. I am extremely excited for the Switch 2, and I have been talking for, my goodness, close to 40 minutes. But yeah, I'm excited. I really thought this was going to be shorter, but I guess not. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Switch 2. You just got a whole backstory of my life as a gamer, or Nintendo-wise at least. I bought a PS Vita at some point during my life. So yeah, that's it. I'm extremely hyped for the Switch 2. I'm definitely gonna record my birthday direct. There you go, that's my birthday direct, because it's coming out on my birthday. Again, what are the freaking odds? I'm so glad. I'm so happy that it's coming out on my birthday. That's all I have to say, I guess. I should probably go work on Paper Jeremy. But, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Extremely hyped for the Switch 2. Hope you guys have a good day. Stay hyped. Stay super hyped for the Switch 2. Yeah! Yeah!